and energy, and so glad to be with you.
To begin our service, we are going to ask these amazing second and third graders to come right on up here to start us off with some songs and good cheer.
You can come all the way down. Yep. Hey, Maddie.
And we begin with the words, Hine Matov, the words that are right here on our bima wall. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together as one tonight. Our second and third graders will lead us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hine Matov umanai
Shaverachi gam yachad. Hine matov.
Together as it is every Sunday morning when we gather for learning with our fabulous second and third grade teachers, Pam and Dory Ann. We sing together, we learn together, we study together. And now we're actually in our sanctuary on Shabbat. And for some of you, this may be your first time in this temple building, or at least in a long time. So let's wish each other Shabbat Shalom with the song Bim Bam. 2, 3, 4, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, chiri, biri, biri, bim. All done this. Walk in the temple. What do I do? Walk in the temple. What do I see? The rabbi, the Torah, other kids like me. Walk in the temple. What do I do? I study and play with other kids like you. We study Hebrew, we study Torah, we celebrate all the holidays. Walk in the temple, what do I say? Shabbat Shalom, what a special day. Right here, we are going to ask your teachers, Pam and Dory Ann, to come on up to light our Shabbat candles. Right behind you guys, so you might want to turn around so you can see it right over here. You guys can come over here.
What's going to happen is your teachers are going to light, and then we're going to make 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. You're bringing that light in, okay? And then we're going to cover our eyes while we all sing the blessing together. Yep, exactly.
And if you're looking for this blessing in your Siddur, in your prayer book, it's on page 1 at the top of the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlek ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom, and you guys can sit back down. So here we are, Friday night, where our community gathers every single week to take a deep breath together. Raise your hand if this was a long week for you. You could use a little peace and quiet, yeah. We turn to the top of page 11, saying, "Come, friends, let's do this together. Let's make this peace, this wholeness, this rest together." Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. And do it again. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. And kind of quiet, you guys. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevarach. Take a nice deep breath. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevarach. And we say to each other, may this Shabbat bring blessings. And just look around this sanctuary. Here, who here has a friend here that you'd want to say, let's just have some fun together. Let's just relax together and feel some joy. And squeeze your parent, give your parents a hug. Parents, you can give your kids a hug, your spouses, your friends. This is a week we all need this. Let's take it from the top. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla. All right, deep breath. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach. Shalom umevorach. And for those of you who are new to our sanctuary and being in this temple building, this building was built to be like a home, and this sanctuary like our living room. And some people have gotten to know this sanctuary very well. For instance, Eli and Libby are here every Wednesday afternoon because they are in 6th grade, and this room is actually their classroom. Henry was here also, older siblings. And for you all, we hope that this will become an extension of your own home, your spiritual home, your joyful home, your Jewish home. And so we turn to page 16 for Baruch Hu, dear one, and we say, let's call on the light that is inside each one of us and bring that feeling of home to our hearts and to each other.
When we're singing this invitation to ourselves and to each other into this home, we usually rise in body or in spirit. So I invite you to rise as you are able.
Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home.
We continue with the Shema. It is our invitation to stand, to listen, to witness that all life on this planet, all life is connected and is one. And we say that word at the end, echad, of that first line. That's the word that means one.
V'avarchal tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated.
Unless you are in 2nd or 3rd grade, in which case we'd like for you to come back up here. This prayer says, may there be one day when we are all free of war and of violence. And it begins with the words that are found on page 22 in our prayer books, Hashkivenu Adonai. May we all lie down in peace and wake up to peace in the morning. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim. Lay under the moon, and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. If you turn to page 25 in your prayer books, at the top of the page, you will see 6 words in Hebrew, and on the right side in the English. And we think of these words as a prayer to be able to pray. Which is a funny thing to do, to pray to be able to pray. What does that mean? Well, we're going to ask you to ask your parents what that means. But what we're going to do is we're going to sing the first 3 blessings of the Amidah, of this prayer to pray together in community. You'll hear voices, you'll hear names like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah. You'll hear names like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These are the names of people who lived thousands of years ago. And you'll hear a community who is joined together. And so if you don't know the words to the prayer, that's okay, because we start with the very words, hey, I'm not really sure how to pray, but I'd like to be a part of this prayer anyway. So we'll turn to page 25. We'll stand back up in body or in spirit as you're able, and we'll pray in community. Adonai sefatai tivtach ufiagi teilatecha. Adonai ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei hakol, Ve'zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot, Umevi geula livnei v'nehem, Lema'an shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol Atah Rav lehoshia, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidom elach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ben Ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We invite you to be seated when you feel ready. And please stay standing as long as you would like to finish the Amidah. We're going to sing to you to accompany your prayers. All around, everywhere. All around, everywhere. Holy, holiness. In the highest skies, in the deepest sea, in the highest sky, in the deepest sea, holy, holiness. In my heart, in your soul, in my heart, in your soul, holy, holiness. With every breath, with every step, with every breath, with every step, holy, holiness. In all we do, in all we are, in all we do, in all we are, holy, holiness. As with me, so with you. As with me, so with you. Holy, holiness. All around, everywhere. All around, everywhere. Holy, holiness. We'd like to share with you tonight a poem that was written by one of our 6th grade students. Her name is Thea Sopiri Novad, and I believe she's watching online right now. And she wrote a poem, her reflections on war and on peace. And it's called Open the Door. The war is like a cold hand on our shoulders, a problem that twists and turns and doesn't let you think it is solved. Harmony and peace wait by your doorway to be welcomed, not ignored. They need the awareness of others and to be used by ones who will share it with a community. If only we could open up that door to them and let them sink into everyone's minds. Oh, if we were to listen to those who are not understood. If we do so, only then will we truly open the door and let our hearts feel like one again. The war, along with our melancholy feelings, shall pass. Let us make the world a better place. We would love to have our 2nd and 3rd graders come back up. You guys are so busy tonight. Whew, you got a lot to do here. Adonai, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Adonai, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Watch these people for the hand motions, because every morning the sun comes up and every evening the sun goes down. Every morning the sun comes up, every evening the sun goes down. Well, it's a beautiful thing, the way it all works together and the world goes round and round. The years and the hours and the days go by, monsters even, and I don't know why. God makes it all happen right before our eyes, and the world goes round and round.
Does everyone have it? You all go down with them, along with them. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Every morning the sun comes up, and every evening the sun goes down. Well, it's a beautiful thing, the way it all works together and the world goes round and round. The minutes and the hours and the days go by, monsters leave, but I don't know why. God makes it all happen right before our eyes, and the world goes round and
The 2nd and 3rd graders are now going to lead us in the Aleph Bet song. And your job out here and online is to repeat after them. 1, 2, 3, 4. they'll be back, but this is our last song for this set. There is nothing like joy, Jewish joy, and appreciation of nature and all the beauty that surrounds us to lift our spirits. So please follow them for the hand motions. We will repeat after them. 1, 2, 3. Love the earth, love the sky, heat of fire, drop of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit, in my soul. Love the earth, love the sky, heat of fire, drop of water. I can give yourself a hug. In my body, in my spirit, in my soul. All right, hey ya, 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 hey ya. All right, you guys, do it one more time. Love the earth, love the earth, love the sky. Heat of fire, drop of water. I can feel it in my body, in my spirit. All right, one last hey ya, 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 hey ya. Nicely done, you guys. You can go back and sit down.
So our 6th grader, Thea, entered us into a section of the prayers that are all about peace and healing and wholeness. And they're all words in the Hebrew language that are related to each other. This idea that when people aren't healthy, they can't be at peace. And when people aren't whole, when they don't have what they need, there can't be peace. And so we say all of these prayers together in community. Week in and week out, we say prayers for peace and healing and wholeness, and we put them all right next to each other because we understand that they're all kind of part of the same thing, and that we have to work on all of them together. So this next prayer that we're going to say in community is a prayer that is for all who are not free right now, for all who are held hostage, for all who cannot go home. And so we say this prayer holding them, holding all who search for that ability in their lives. And I would invite you to join me. We're going to pray this in the English. So I would invite you to join me in praying these words aloud for all those held hostage. Our family, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress or in captivity, who stand either in the sea or on dry land. May the Omnipresent have mercy on them and take them out from trouble to blessing, and from darkness to light, and from oppression to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. We can all say, Amen.
Turn to page 130 in our prayer books, if we have prayer books in our hands. for a prayer for healing for those who are sick in body or in mind or in spirit, and we ask for healing for them. And tonight, as a community, we are praying for the healing of all who are suffering in Gaza and in Israel and in Ukraine and around the world. And we pray for the healing of Gerald P. Mondell, Tom Lemons, Dave Cohen, Sandy Sherman, Irene Brown, Liliana Walheim Martinez, Peter Feynman, Pat Urich, Frank, Andy A., Joyce, Laureen Huckle, Ann Graham and her family, Nikki Reed, Angie Silver, Chris Dermer, Sarah Kianowski, Stanley Roth, Debbie Gilman, Neil Daniels Midman, Ayelet Galbat, Chava Hirsch Shmuel, Anya Kabel, Sue Boardman, and Kathy Nath. And if there are people in your lives that you would like to send a healing prayer to and say their name out loud, please raise your hand. We'll call on you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cora. Thank you. David. For all of these names, for all that have been added into the chat online, for all the loved ones in our hearts, let us sing this prayer of healing together. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha may the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I'd like to tell you a story. It's a story about people who are living in a really difficult position, actually. They are living in a desert that is not their home originally. They didn't start out in that desert. Everything they have, they brought with them. And so you can imagine that if they're living in a desert that was not originally their home, they don't have a sense that they have everything they need, right? They have to be able to make or create or do anything they need. And so they don't have so much sense of security or safety. And it seems to them that the world is always changing around them. Anytime they settle down and feel like, oh, well, maybe this is home now, turns out that's not home. And they have to get up and go all over again.
And when you're imagining these people I'm talking about, it was probably a big camp of people, but in particular, I'm thinking of 5 of them who I want to tell you the story of this week. And that was, there were 3 adults and there were 2 children in this story that I want to tell you about. And the adults were Abraham. Raise your hand if you've heard the name Abraham before. Okay. Sarah. You heard Sarah? Hagar. And the kids. Anybody know who Abraham's kids were? Anybody want to raise their hand and say their names? Adults, you can participate too. I saw you raising your hands. You're doing great. Yeah. Oh yeah, tell me, Toby. We've got names there. We've got Isaac. That's right, Isaac. And then who Isaac's son is Jacob, right? Very good. So if we're going to go down the generations, we go that way. Do you know that Isaac had a brother? Yeah. Who said that? You do know that? Who was Isaac's brother? I know, right? Anybody parents? Come on, help him out. Close. You're getting really good. Joan, what you got? Ishmael, right. So Abraham had 2 brothers. He had 2 sons. They are brothers. They are half brothers. Ishmael is the son of Hagar, and Isaac is the son of Sarah. Okay? And it's their story that I want to tell you tonight, because their story actually turns out to be really relevant, I think, tonight, even though it happened over 2,000 years ago, at least. So there was a rule back then. So first of all, can you picture the family? Are you with me? We have Abraham, we have Hagar, and Hagar has Ishmael, right? And we have Abraham, same Abraham. That's a different night. I'm going to teach you about that. And then we have Sarah, and Sarah has Isaac, right? So we have this family of at least 5 people. And there was a rule back then that only one kid could inherit the blessing from their father and the inheritance from their father. What do you think of that rule? How many of you are only children here? Only children. You probably think it's a fine rule, right? What do you think of that rule? What do you think? I'm hearing we're moving to Purim. We're booing. We're booing. Good. So tell me, why are we booing that rule, Audrey? Okay, good. All right. How many of you have a sibling? How many of you think that rule might cause a little bit of difficulty between you and your sibling? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, well, what should we do? Here, help me write the story. What should we do? Okay. So, one answer could be pick one, right? Pick one. You can pick the oldest, you can pick the youngest, you can pick the middle. Pick one, and what? What happens next in that story? Explain this in words. Okay, there begins to be a conflict. Do you have a solution? Yeah, what's your solution? Oh my God, I love this community so much. Does the rule specifically state that only men can inherit? That rule did. It gets rewritten later in the Bible. There are 4 sisters. They stand up. They say, that rule stinks. All right, we want you to change the rule. And they mostly change the rule, but it's an excellent question. At this point, though, we have these 2 brothers, Isaac and Ishmael. And how many of you think it's going to go really, really well if only one of them inherits? You think it's going to go well? Okay. That's all right. We all can have different opinions on this. How many of you think it's going to go really badly? Yeah. Well, in this week, it does. It goes really badly. And the family start taking sides, right? So who do you think Sarah sides with? Isaac. Sarah says, I think Isaac should receive all of the inheritance and all of the blessing and all of the good stuff, right? And what do you think the other side says? Ishmael, right? Says no, older child, Ishmael should receive the inheritance. And so sure enough, an argument breaks out. And in that argument, I think something terribly sad happens, which is that Hagar, who is the mom of Ishmael, and Ishmael, they get sent away from the family. And where did I tell you this family was living? Oh my God, you guys are listening so well. They're in a desert. So if you get sent away from your family in a desert, what do you think happens? What happens? Yeah. You find the end of the desert, you got to go real far. Okay, so if one answer could be you find the end of the desert. That's not where the story takes us that week, but I like that. You can write that story. It's called a midrash. That's good. Cora, do you have an answer? No? Okay. Do we have an answer in the back? Yeah. You get lost. What happens if you get lost in a desert? Hold on, I have an answer here, and I have an amazing answer here. You might not be able to find food or water. So you guys are now official biblical scholars, right? You're writing this story, and that's exactly what happens. Hagar and Ishmael, they run out of food, they run out of water, and they cry. Hagar in particular, she cries. She cries and she cries and she cries. And she cries for help. And all of a sudden, she opens her eyes. She's told to open her eyes. And in front of her, there was something that she hadn't seen before. There was an oasis. Do you know what that is? What is that? Who can define that for me? Yeah. It's like a huge pool of water in the desert. And if there's a huge pool of water in the desert, what else do you think surrounds that huge pool of water in the desert? What do you think? I'm going to let your younger sibling answer. What do you think? No? Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, what's around the huge pool, Maddie? Food and trees, right? So all of what she's looking for and worried about suddenly is available to her. And we read this story this week in our Torah portion, and I have a question for you. Why? Why do we read this story? Why do we read this story about people who are in some of the hardest places of their life, some of the most difficult situations on a Shabbat? Aren't we supposed to be singing songs about joy and hope and light and love and all those good things? Well, we're also doing those things, right? But what do we do with this story? Cora, why are we reading it? Oh, so in reading their story, in hearing their story, we might find ways to feel better, right? I love that answer. I love that answer. Is there anything in this story that makes anybody in this room feel better? Is there anything in the story I just told you of Hagar and Ishmael, of Sarah and Isaac, of an oasis in the desert that makes you feel any better? Toby, what makes you feel a little better? Oh my goodness. Can you come give the rest of the sermon, please? When they were crying out, when they were asking for help from the very hardest place, when their eyes were opened, what they needed was right in front of them. Have any of you ever been in a really, really, really hard place that you didn't know how to get out of? Yeah? You have been? Okay. Have you ever had somebody help you from that place? Yeah? And did they help you in a way that you couldn't see without them? Did you ever have somebody help you in a way they couldn't see without them? That happens in this week's Torah portion. Each of us are invited to say, hey, if I ask for help, maybe somebody listening will help me. And I think that's a pretty powerful lesson. And I think that the kind of help that they get is also really powerful this week. So I want to tell you about this. The thing that Ishmael gets blessed with is the same blessing ultimately that Isaac receives. What does that mean? It means Isaac is told, or Abraham is told, that through his child, a great nation will grow. And we, the descendants of Isaac, are part of that great nation. And when that well shows itself to Ishmael and to Hagar, they get promised too that they are the beginning of a great nation. And that nation usually counts itself, the descendants, as the Muslim peoples of this world. And so I think it's kind of beautiful that on this week, we are reading a story that tells us that sometimes when your eye is opened, there is more blessing available than it originally seems like. There is more hope available than it originally seems like. And I pray for each of us that a little angel taps us on the shoulder this week and helps us see a new way in this world. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We turn to page 44 as we move into the concluding prayers of our service. One thing we do together in community always is remember those whose lives help shape ours with the words that have been said for thousands of years, words of mourners Kaddish. So we'll turn to page 44. We'll say the name of those on our communal list. We'll invite you to share the names of those you are remembering, and we'll join in that prayer.
As a community, we are remembering tonight all those who have died in senseless violence in Israel and in Gaza and all around the world this week. In this time of Shloshim, the 30 days since following somebody's death, we think of Florence Foreman, beloved mother of Joan Foreman. And the yortzites tonight include David Atlas, father of Joan Atlas. This is his 8th yortzite. Eleanor Roth, beloved mother of Audrey Roth, her 12th yortzite. We remember Cy Ginsburg, Karen Ginsburg's father, and Carol Ginsburg, Karen Ginsburg's mother. We are remembering Madeline Wood, Candace Van Aken's aunt, and William Wood, Candace's beloved father. It is also the yahrzeit of David Zimmerman, beloved father of Joel Zimmerman. And in this year of memory, we remember Kay Ann Liss, Duffy Brodsky, Lois Lineal, Eliza Stern-Geyer, and Caroline Hirschfeld. And if you are observing an anniversary of somebody's death, a yahrzeit, we invite you to put their names into the chat if you're online, or to raise your hand here in the sanctuary. And as a community, we rise together in body or in spirit, reciting these ancient words together of Mourner's Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. Bechaye echon uvyom echon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach leolam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be an abiding blessing. As together we say, amen. You may be seated.
And you guys, we just want to say you have been amazing tonight, second and third graders and their siblings, parents and grandparents. It's been so wonderful to be with you all, Temple members. And just a few announcements, and then we are going to conclude this service with our second and third graders back up here for the final songs. Quick announcements. Torah study continues tomorrow morning, as every Saturday morning at 10:30, and it will be in person this Saturday morning in the library. On Sunday, just wanted to point out we have 3 great programs. One takes place at the Ambrose School at 10 a.m., where you are invited to learn about an amazing organization inviting us to become mentors and supporters of incarcerated men and women who are earning college degrees. And in order to minimize time commitment and to offer scheduling flexibility, the way they do it is the volunteers form small teams to help these students reach their dreams. And we have 2 Temple members who have been doing this. They are current mentors, and they're going to share their experiences of this program, and we'll be able to answer all questions. So that's 10 o'clock at the Ambrose School on Sunday morning. And at 2 p.m., our Sondheim class continues. At 4 p.m., we have our first ever community cafe happening right here in the Temple building. It is being hosted by our Temple president, Martha Berman, and some of her friends. And it will be a time for conversation and connection and just joy of getting to know each other and talking over a light nosh and beverages. And we all are most welcome to come, 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon for our first community cafe. A big thank you to Dorianne, will you raise your hand, and to Pam, our second grade teacher, for being so amazing. Our kids are so lucky to get to study with you. And of course, to Bailey Starr, the star of our learning corps, standing there in the back. And to all of you parents who are so committed to raising your children, who trust us to educate your children, may this continue for many, many, many years to come. We look forward to getting to know all of you. People who are in the second and third grades, will you come up for a final 2 songs? And a question, you guys, can we do David Melech while you're standing up? You think you can do it? Can you do it, do you think? All right, we're going to try a quick David Melech, and then we're going to end with Tree of Life. If parents, I think you probably have it, but the kids are, it's kind of hard to do it standing up, but do your best, you guys. We're going to start slow. We'll take it easy on you. 2, 3, 4. David Melech Yisrael. Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael. Chai v'kayam. David Melech. All right, you guys are looking good. Let's keep it going a little faster. David Melech Yisrael. Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael. Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael. All right, one more time. David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam. Woo! And I know you can go faster than that. Our final song, and then we are going to go down and enjoy a beautiful Oneg Shabbat, because you guys brought so many desserts. We are going to be here for a long time enjoying them. It is a tree of life to those who will pass to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who will pass to it, and all of its supporters are happy. All right, you guys, really strong with a shalom. Shalom. Woo! Woo! Shalom, 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 shalom. Woo! Shabbat shalom, everyone. See you downstairs, one floor.